Yo, 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 welcome to Crate 808, your 90s hip-hop podcast that's back for 2020 and is giving you all that you can possibly need as a hip-hop head. We've got your reviews, which is exactly what we're doing today. We've got your interviews, we've got your everything else as well, debates, all that, they're all there. But this one today is a review, and it's kind of a special one. We're going to do Eminem's Music to be Murdered By, yet another surprise drop from Slim Shady. Or is it Slim Shady or is it Eminem? Can't keep up, they're all the same person nowadays. And here to discuss it with me is Mr. Raymond Ridge, the Crate 808 rap Brexiteer.
I'm just really not feeling that moniker at all. I'm just not feeling it.
You haven't been feeling it in all 2019. Am I going to stop using it though?
Probably not, because you can't. Anyway, yeah, it's good. It's good here. It's a refreshing.
Wow,
it's 31 degrees centigrade outside. It's got a nice cool breeze in the street. How is it over there? Fucking freezing. Yeah, good. Anyway, carry on.
If anyone doesn't know, Ray is in Perth in Western Australia, living his life up right now. Usually we get him up at 4 a.m, but instead I've got up early this time. So Ray, before we start, man, Eminem. People have been asking for this because they know you're going to want to talk about this album. New surprise drop. I don't know if anyone heard our Is Eminem Still Relevant Now conversation from 2019, but that went off. A lot of reaction to that one. So clearly when this dropped, we had to do a review track by track. But Ray, I just need to ask you one thing, mate, yeah?
Go for it.
When you heard about this surprise album dropping, yeah? Out of 5, how erect was your dick exactly? Like, would you say out of 5? 5 being like stonking, can't even look at it.
I was unable to stand up for a good while. Yeah, for a couple of days. Yeah, it's like, yeah, called in sick. Yeah, so, oh well, what's the problem? Oh yeah, I can't. You don't want to see what's going on over here. Yeah, it's delivered. You're excited to hear about it, but there's also like, please let it be good. Please let it be good. Because there's some when Eminem releases, you're a bit like, ooh, all right, well, we'll push that one to one side. But yeah, this,
and you didn't feel that with this one.
No, this is
so you felt the opposite.
He's smashed it out of the park. He's completely smashed it out of the park. And the thing is,
I can't. Okay, right, we need to get into this. Yes.
Are you revealing slightly that you disagree with that?
I have a different viewpoint. This is true.
My fucking God.
This is going to be a good, long session going in. But before we do start, though, mate, if you have quickly, the least hip-hop thing you've done in the last 24 hours. What have you been... Come on, drop me a good one.
It's what I did it's literally 2 minutes ago. It's fucking untangling headphones. It's the most fucking annoying thing, isn't it? Every now and again when you pick up headphones and you kind of fling them around a little bit and they magically untangle and you're like, oh, that's it's so satisfying when that happens. That didn't happen this time. you pull them a little bit and then the knots tighten. There's like 17 different knots in the fucking cables. Anyway, it's fine. I've recently upgraded to wireless headphones.
Bluetooth.
No, I've got them otherwise, but you don't do that when you're recording because a wire is a more the people know this. People know this. You need a wired connection for recording.
Everyone's got a podcast nowadays, so everyone knows.
Exactly.
Mate, I thought untangling wires, fair enough. I can't think of many other non-hip hop things apart from maybe what I did in the last 24 hours, which was have a mild bout of food poisoning because of a fish cake. So I think fish cakes generally are quite hip hop, but I don't think that many people. I don't think that many rappers. I don't think Tretch from Naughty by Nature has had a fish cake and got disabilitated for a while. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah. No. I can't.
Who's the most likely rapper to have food poisoning? Big Pun, probably.
Yeah. Rest in peace. But he didn't. There's not much he didn't eat, is there? So there we go. Anyway,
it is probability.
This is getting a bit dark, isn't it?
His gut had so many enzymes that they probably could just break down anything. It's like a steel stomach.
Yeah.
So that could have been a great Big Pun album, Steel Stomach. It died too soon.
You did.
No, but that is generally R.I.P. Never forget. But let's get in, right? Eminem, we're going to do this track by track, just like we did with that other reviews. So Ray, let's go. First one, Premonition. What are you saying when you first hear this track?
He smashes it from the outset. Completely, absolutely smashes it. addresses fans, haters, pulling him either way, fans and haters pulling him either way. And it's just like he states the facts of where he is in the game. I mean, it's just an intro, but it does exactly what the intro should do. It's a taste of what's to follow. And he's got some sick lines. One of the lines in that, like, you know what? Every review we do, I'd like to highlight sick lines. Fact is, half the shit we've reviewed didn't have any sick lines, so I have not even noted it. But this, I've got like 6 pages of ridiculous sick lines. That's just the state of Eminem. The only way you're ahead of me is alphabetically, because if you diss me, I'm coming after you like the letter V. I know it's a bit of a dad joke, but I fucking love that shit. I fucking love it.
No, do you know what? I'll give you that. I'll give you that one for that track. For that exactly that verse as well. That is a dad joke, but in the way the track bangs starts the album, it does. You don't feel it. You don't feel it.
That line as well. That's not even like
as much as others that are coming up.
That's not even one of the strongest bits. This the way he talks about people saying they want this from him, they want that from him, then he gives it, and they're disappointed that he can't please anyone. He's like, I don't give a fuck what you think, kind of thing. It's good because previously, he's gone into having a go at people about misunderstanding his. Was it? There's a phone call in the previous album when he's talking about someone completely misunderstanding the rhyme because he's rhyming. People don't understand the rhyming pattern within rhyming patterns within rhyming patterns that Eminem does. You need a degree to understand the shit, and I've got one, so don't worry about it. Next.
So don't worry about it. I've got a degree from the University of the Streets, mate. That's
yeah,
what I've got a degree from.
Fucking hate that.
Right, I need to have a say then. Now, on this track, when this album comes out, first of all, I was like, what the fuck? New Surprise Eminem album. He has been teasing this stuff with tweets. But like when I saw the cover, I knew I recognised it. I was like, that's from something. And then obviously Alfred Hitchcock, that whole theme, I was like, okay, here we go. This could be quite horrorcore. This could be quite like almost like Relapse 2. And we're going to talk about Relapse 2 in a bit. Relapse later, I'm sure, in this whole thing. But Relapse is like one of my favourite Eminem projects, and it gets kind of shit on a lot. But I really fucking enjoy that. But I think with this one, when it comes out, right? First of all, it's just good to have Dr. Dre back in the mix. Like, you can hear this as a Dre beat. First time I heard it, not going to lie, mate, straight from the jump, my first thing was, okay, so M is doing peak M. It's 2020. He's dropped for 2020, new decade. And I'm not going to lie, there are bits in this project that are new Eminem, which is nice to see. Making that point now. This is not new Eminem, right? Starts off, and I always had to laugh out loud that, oh, right, it's another dramatic, like, cinematic intro. And what's he doing? Oh, he's murdering a woman. And then he starts chatting really dramatically and quietly, right, before it. And then it goes into the beat. And I was like, I think I heard this in 1996, 97.
Yeah, it's fucking nostalgia. Exactly. He's going back to...
Listen.
This is what you always say. Listen. No, that's what you always fucking do. And then you change the subject and I don't get to come back and fucking address the nonsense that you're fucking talking. That's why this is good. That's what is great about it. Because it's nostalgic. Because it's relating back to his original shit. And he's... All right, carry on. I'll let you go now.
Okay, right. Okay. No. That is an argument that it is nostalgic, but just from when I heard it, this woman screaming and the burying and all that, there's no messing about. M's not changed, right? He loves chatting shit. It's like Don't Give a Fuck or Still Don't Give a Fuck. You know, the intro to those things.
Yeah. Two of his greatest.
I
tunes.
never expected him to, because you didn't let me just finish my point. I never expected him to change. I didn't go into this album, music to be murdered by. This is not a different Eminem. This is what I was waiting for was the horrorcore, but we'll bring that up later. But like, so when it starts, it is Eminem. I could hear the collective sigh of people on Twitter as I started the album.
Oh, fuck the people on Twitter.
Bingo card.
No one gives a fuck about the people on Twitter. They're all fucking clueless cunts. I couldn't give a fuck.
It's so easy, right, to wind you up, because we've got a bingo card now. If you hear our end of year 2019 specials, we've got a bingo card that people can like tick off of things we say in every episode. Yeah, we might be repetitive, but is it less entertaining? Probably not. I like seeing Ray do this, so I do it to get him to do this. So that's not, mate, whatever you say, that's fine. But the funny thing is, you've already been described by fans as the very personification of real hip hop on Twitter. So even though you hate the people on Twitter, you actually have become them. And now you're like a symbol of them, and you can like lead them into like Twitter debates and fights. And it's like, all right, so they can quote you, they can source you as a piece of news in one of their debates. Just so you know, this is what I'm thinking of him. But just on this album, he has dropped a fucking big album, so we need to get through it. And I'm not with Ray collectively on everything he said. Well, not at all. But as you were saying though, Ray, on this track, yes, he does kill it. His verse is unreal. He's not saying anything different. I've heard everything of this that he says on this on Kamikaze, but the content's not the point. It's the way he spits it for this. And I was like, okay, he is coming to just fucking bar up, and that's what he's going to be doing, hopefully, for the whole project, right? So I was in from the verse. One of my favourite verses on the album is this verse, even though it's only an intro. But I'm not going to lie, mate, I did feel a little bit like, oh, he's still talking about Revival, and I don't like that album. I don't know, I just really fucking do not like that album. So when he brought up Revival, I was thinking, oh, I fucking heard this on Kamikaze, I don't need to hear you talk about Revival anymore. But then he talks about, like, obviously, you wanted me to say something, and then I said something, and then you didn't like that. And I was like, okay, so at least he's addressing that, and now I see the problem, Em. Now, I'm glad you discussed it, because now what you're trying to say is, it's not what you said, dog, on Revival. It's not what you said. I don't mind what you were going for. It's the way you executed it. It just sounded, worst pop rap ever. I fucking hate pop rap, and that pop rap of that kind of type anyway, like the fucking singy hooks and shit, and just the production I didn't really enjoy. So that's where I'm at with this first track.
I gotta say, I disagree. I had to take a breath.
Go on.
Look, yeah, it seems like I'm going to be disagreeing with you a lot on this, but
go on. Why?
Just the fucking error. It's not just you. It's the people that are like, I don't need to hear that from you, Em. Like, who the fuck are you to... Like, why the fuck would he give a shit what you think about what he should or shouldn't say? Oh, I've heard this before. No, you haven't heard it before. He's saying where he is now, and nah.
But mate, you're saying how arrogant are we for him to give a shit? He does give a shit. The whole verse is him giving a shit. He wouldn't do a verse about it otherwise.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. He's like going, I don't give a shit, but I'm talking about it anyway.
You say fans pulling me, say people expecting this from me, then I give it, then they're disappointed. He's saying he can't win either way. I mean, he's not saying he's giving a shit. He's telling a story about the position he's in, and he's just getting the fuck on with it.
No, but all his content, especially Kamikaze, again, remember, I love that project.
Look, this is all you always do. You keep talking about it in context with other albums. We're talking about this album. Yeah,
no, but mate, we have to talk about his other album if we're talking about what he's already said. We have to talk about his other albums.
We're not talking about what he's already said. We're starting from this point. We're starting with this album only.
But then, mate, you can't just take an album and not give it context. As an fan from day one, mate. The thing is, you have to always remember this, Ray. When we're arguing now, he's in your top 5. He's in my top 5. It's not, this album hasn't taken him out my top 5. In fact, in some ways, it solidified it because it gives me hope for something going forward. So let's just start on that base, yeah, right? So we start on that base, and then if we're going forward, I'm giving it a context because that's how I feel. I can't deny how I feel, just like I can't when I viscerally react and need to rewind something, I can't deny that. I'm not going to be an M apologist, but I'm also not going to say M's shit like a lot of people are saying now. He's not relevant. He's not. No, I'm not there. He, to me, is top 5 still, and I have a feeling he will drop another project as good as Bad Meets Evil at some point. It's just not this album. He will drop another album that for me, Relapse did, or even Recovery. Like, Recovery was a decent album, so I know he can get back there because he's young enough to do that shit. You know, he's 47 or whatever he is, but I still think he's got fucking the shit to do that. Anyway, so on to the second track. We're on the second track, fucking hell. Right, there's a lot going on in there. There's a lot going on in this album. On the second track, Unaccommodating, M on the boards, but sounding a little bit different, sounding quite trappy, sounding quite new. I was like, okay, this is interesting. I was interested from the get-go. And then what the fuck? Young M.A. jumps on. Before I say anything else, Ray, thoughts on Young M.A.?
I think it works well as a contrast to Eminem. Oh, that was a nice way of putting it, wasn't it?
That was actually a really good... And in a way, it definitely does, because that's my exact point, I think. But go on.
Yeah, you know, Young M.A. They bring a vibe to it. They definitely bring a vibe to it. The rhymes are amazing. But look, we're not there for Young M.A. We're there for Eminem.
No,
and when Eminem comes in,
but Ray's. Sorry, Ray. You are Eminem to me now. You wish. You fucking wish you were Eminem. No, but so M produced the track, so I'm guessing he sequenced it. So he put her first, which is like, okay, she opens up. I don't mind Young M.A. I'm not a massive fan. 3 words for Young M.A. Simple but effective is what I'd say she is. One of her lines actually did stick with me, which is surprising because out of all the features, I didn't think Young M.A. lines is going to stick with me. Pinocchio and my pistol, they got the same nose. And I was like, why would you have a really long pistol?
Well, an extendable one, depending on how many times.
Silencer.
Oh. Yeah, but
that's what it might be.
Am I missing something? Pinocchio's nose grows when he tells a lie, right? Am I? Is that
so her but when her pistol lies, it gets longer, and then when it's telling the truth, it stays average.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. So if she lies about shooting someone, she puts the silencer on. What? All right.
Yeah.
There was a line that she had actually. I did like was when the pain leave, where does the pain go, kind of thing. And that's some deep shit. I'm reading Gateway by Frederick Pohl at the moment, and that's the subject of one of the main characters deals with. I mean, that's probably not what Young M.A. was talking about, but yeah, there you go. It is, you know.
Ray's got a new least hip hop thing. So he's reading a book, guys.
It fucking is, actually. But anyway, that's off the point.
So Young M.A., fair.
Why we can't still be talking about Young M.A.? Let's get onto the M. Let's get onto fucking M.
We need to talk about M.
It's got some fucking ridiculous lines on here.
Okay, let's talk about M. Can I just tell you what I think? Because I know you're going to go in. So let me just tell you where I'm at with it. The feature, I'm not going to lie, again, I like a lot of these first tracks, they're growers. Like the first time I heard it, different reaction. By the time I kept going in, I was like, actually, do you know what? I actually really feel this. So like, as a track, Premonition's great. I thought Unaccommodating actually is a grower with a trappy kind of sound to it. And Young M.A., I was like, wow, I was going for something different here. But the first time I heard it, which has changed, but the first time I heard it, it sounded like the same thing M does all the time, which is like he just swallows up anyone he's on a track with, and it just becomes an M track with no sense of collaboration at all. Like it just feels like she just phoned in her verse and M's gone, bang, I'm just going to kill you.
Good. That's what. He's at the level that he inevitably will swallow up every fucking track he's on with anyone else. That's it. Fine. That's fine.
Yeah, that's what
everyone
I'm saying.
else.
No, but not Royce.
Including Royce. Royce talks fucking nonsense. Royce completely sacrifices his tunes, his verses making sense to make them rhyme. He completely sacrifices it, and Eminem effortlessly makes.
I think there's a track on this album where Royce comes out better than M at the end.
Yeah, well,
but we're going to go in there.
You can think that. You mean you'll be incorrect, but that's fine.
Incorrect. Bingo. Boom. There we go. Right. So that's where I'm at. We want to talk about the lyrics, I'm sure. But Ray, what are you saying about this track? Unaccommodating. Let's go.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling it. There's so many fucking lines. This thing. It's just he's just got so many punchlines, and if I say them, it's out of the because he just flows constantly and throws his punchlines in just one after the other, and you can miss them if you're not paying attention. There's so much content on my petty shit, but I don't paint toes. Call us liquid plumber because even Dre know, as in Dre knows, but also Drano is the stuff you put. Cutting off your oxygen, then I hit pads like a boxing gym.
That's good.
Yeah, all of it is good. All of it is. And
all of it is.
No, it is. It is. You know how much we fucking spoke about Bandana last year, and there's not one fucking clever lyric in it at all anywhere. Not anywhere. No, there isn't. No, there isn't. No, there isn't. If you think there is, you literally don't know what clever lyric is. You just literally don't. That reminds me of an eyeball. I'm watching my pupils get cornier.
Mate, right. So that line alone, right? So this is what I'm saying about M, right? M does kill it. He does. I'm with you with that. The usual shock value nonsense and contradictory nonsense is there. People have talked about it before, talking about him being at Ariana Grande concert. It blows up, but on the same album has a track about gun control and terrorism that way. Very contradictory, but to be fair, when has M not been contradictory? He has always been that. I think it kind of does devalue the Darkness track that he can just kind of throw away, say stuff like that. But it doesn't really matter too much to me because it's M.
Well, it's what you say. I didn't get the fuss about the Ariana Grande line. It's a throwaway line because it's like he says, like it's a simile. It's like being outside the, you know. And then, but then he goes on. Then he talks about John Wayne Gacy, who raped and murdered 33 people. Then there's Saddam Hussein, Osama bin Laden. John Benet was a 6-year-old girl who got murdered in her house. No one's mentioning any of that. They were all throwaway. They were all mentioned in there as well. No one cares about those victims. No one cares about the victim, the 3,000 people that were victim of the crimes of the, you know. It's just, Ariana Grande. Oh, we know her. That's quite close to home, so we're going to kick up a fuss about it. It's not. He didn't do it, for fuck's sake. It's just a fucking lyric.
No, but that's not my problem with it. That's not my problem with it.
No, that's my problem with people having the problem with it.
Yeah, true. I have heard that. And to be fair, I think it's quite a thin argument. But what it does do for me is devalue the whole sentiment behind Darkness. Because it's like, you know, you say, it's all the victims, all these victims. Well, all of that kind of devalues Darkness, because when you are being earnest and you are trying to be that way about things...
I don't think it devalues Darks. No, I don't think it does devalue that, but...
Either way, the corny line is what I'm trying to talk about, right? Because, mate, we are going to have to talk about his punchlines in this album as we go throughout. Clearly, you named 2 there. It's just a taste thing because you don't find that corny. But when he said the Drano line, I didn't get it because I don't know what Drano is. But when I looked it up, I was like, so he did a detergent. Okay, I can kind of see it being corny, but I don't really get it anyway because I didn't really hear it. But when he said the corny line to his pupils, I was like, oh my God, the one thing people go at you for is having the corniest lines and you're saying everyone else is getting corny, but with a good bar. And there were just levels to it where I was like, okay, that made me just kind of think twice. I was like, okay, right, fair enough. But one thing that I would say about M, and especially next to Young M.A., when he comes in and he finishes that verse, one word, mate, enunciation. M's enunciation might be the best enunciation in hip-hop. Plus, like, he nails riding the track. So every punchline hits the drum snare and it's fucking brilliant. And I was like, oh my God. And that's what he talks about where he's like, some of you guys can't even find where to land on the kick or the snare. And I knew that would mean something for you later on in the album, Ray, because you always talk about that.
Yeah.
But one thing I noticed on repeated listens with this one was not only is M just killing it, he's enunciating the fuck out of it. Like I can hear everything. And then like sometimes you can go quick and either you don't say anything, which he does on this album, or you just end up like blurring words together. In this you could hear everything and then landing on that drum every time. I was like, yeah, fuck me, he just killed that. So Unaccommodating, I think we're both on the same thing. For me, a grower, but reminding me a lot of Kamikaze, but you don't want to talk about Kamikaze, so let's move on.
No. Yeah, there's so many, and there's more as well. I got paper to be blunt. I'm rolling endo. I got paper to be blunt. I'm rolling endo. Like all of it has the double. There's so much in it.
That was nice.
That's why they call me Kamikaze. It's plain suicide. Just
Yeah, but that one is a bit obvious. There's some obvious ones where I'm like, there's not even any play there. Like there's like one layer. This is the thing about M. He's so fucking good. I think I might expect him to just always drop me like double, triple, quadruple entendres. But when it is something very easy and like anyone could say that, I was like, like, I don't know, I can't help how I feel. Like, when Emma does drop a line, which just sticks out to me, I'm like, wow, like that's why I love Rap God. Because people bang on about that track going, he's trying to just be really quick. No, he's not just trying to be really quick. He's being really quick, but every single thing he says on that track is amazing. And maybe that's the level I've got him at. And that's quite a few years ago now. But, you know, you can have shades of it. But if we're going into the next track, you Gon Learn, Royce the 5'9" on the boards. Let's go. What do you think to it?
I mean, Royce kills it from the outset, to be honest. And the beat's sick as well, yeah.
Beat is sick, right? I can't how good is he as a producer? Fair play to him.
Yeah, just some of the stuff that M says on this is just it's one of the best lines on the whole fucking album. For me, thought my name was B-side because they flipped over my tape. Thought my name was B-side because they flipped. They went crazy over my tape. Thought my name was B-side because they flipped over my tape. They flipped it over to the B-side.
I get it.
I don't know if you do. I don't know if you do. Literally, I mean, it's so good. I want to cry. There's so many lines like this. But this, it's just one of those. That's one of those ones where it's not a rewind. It's a stop. Put your phone down. Take your headphones out and just walk away and take a minute. just take a minute. You know?
You really are it's
so good. He's got the way he puts these double meanings in there, and you might not get it the first time, and you're like, thought my name was because it flipped. They flipped. So what do you? And then it hits you, and you're like, that's That's what I look for. That's what I've missed in hip hop. That's what M brings to the table. And then that's why I'm, on such a fucking downer about anything else that comes out. I'm still upset about you being so hyped on fucking Bandana. How? I just, when there's stuff like this, then,
Mate,
this is the standard that I want to hold. This is the standard I want to hold everyone else to. Like, why are you not? Like, Royce gets there sometimes. Royce does. Royce brings it, and you can hear Royce's progression over the years because of him working with M. It's a result of that, isn't it? It's a result of M's influence.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. Anyone working with M is gonna be a better lyricist for sure. But let's just talk about so our key differences now here are going to bring this up, because I think this is one of my favourite tracks on the album, and I can see you may have the same thing, but we're coming at it completely differently, because all you're talking about is bars right now, and bars and bars and bars. Like, we're not really talking about the beats too much. So when you hear M, I already know you've cancelled out beats because he doesn't always have great beats. So you're kind of just like, I'm just here for the lyrics, right? But I liked, obviously, I love the beat on this, but I love the lyrics. But for me, it's not just about double entendres and stuff like that. It's about telling me, like, that Be Real line is it works on the layer that they flipped his tape. Fair enough. So that's what you're saying is that they just allowed your tape. I kind of know, and I know this argument's going to come up again, and I sound like one of them anti-Eminem guys, but I am just being honest. I do know that. So that line doesn't really hit with me. But what I don't know is what Royce is. Like, Royce, when he came on here, he is sounding like Stokely Carmichael and shit. I was like, holy fucking shit. He starts off the fucking whole thing with stuff like this. I'm a product of properly hopping up out of that poverty, profiting all for copying and swapping that property out for a possible monopoly. Try not to adopt my father's old philosophies. Same time I'm praying to God that everything works out at his colonoscopy. I was just like, what the fuck? And then it goes, I'm walking across a suicidal tightrope intentionally while the demon's coming out of me. Wife is on the side of me talking sense into me. Without she, I feel complete mentally. She's been sent to me. And I was just like, holy fuck. Like, that is everything. That is everything I love about new rap. Unless it's new rappers that are young and you're trying to do something different, fair enough. That I enjoy that. But if I'm talking to my favourite artists and they're making new stuff, that's where I'm at, dog. And that verse is the difference between me and you. So personally, for this, when he starts talking about, what's that other verse he says? I know I'm just murdering the Royce verse, but the whole verse is amazing. Targeting my kids and babies through population and gun control. Shit make me want to make 100 mole. Make a big racist uncomfortable. I was like, the way he wrote 100 mole, uncomfortable, control. I was like, oh man, that is amazing. And then if you're all against talk and reparation, then I'm not against the thought of separation. While the politicians that are white and privileged ask how this is different from segregation. That's funny, bro. The segregation is being told where I want to go. Separation is being woke and going wherever I want to go. And I was, that for me might be the verse off the fucking album.
Of course it's not. Of course it's not. I'm not letting you say it on an Eminem album review that Royce comes up with the best verse. It's all right.
Yes, it's all right. It's up there.
It's not. It's
not all right, mate.
It's all right. It's not amazing. I mean, just stuff he's talking about. It's not revolutionary, is it? It's not amazing. He's just saying,
It's more revolutionary. It's more revolutionary than the M lyrics, I would say.
No, it isn't. It's got an entire track.
What's revolutionary mean? What's revolutionary? None of this is revolutionary. None of it is.
No, I'm just saying you're hyping it up, and I'm saying it's all right. It's a well-rhymed verse. It's all right. It's not moving me. I'm waiting for it to finish so I can get to Eminem.
Ah, right. See, that's the difference. When I kept rewinding it.
No, yeah, because you hate Eminem, so you're like looking for any reason to pick up on anything else that might be good. Don't tell me Black Thought, because Black Thought's verse was way better than all Royce's verse put together. What are you talking about?
Black Thought's verse was sick. That was sick. I'm not saying Royce's is the best. I said it might be up there as one of them. That's what I said. Because Black Thought's is fucking sick, though, to be fair. But no. You just had this real reactionary point there where you said, I hate Eminem, right? I've just said to you, he's in my top 5. How can I hate one of my own top 5 rappers, right?
I'm just keeping you in check. I'm just keeping you in check. That's it.
Keep me in check, but it's fake news, guys. It's fake news. It's Ray's Fox News impression.
Well, look,
that's what it was.
The big line on this, the most important line in this is, it ain't even worth this. This is what you alluded to before. It ain't even worth dissing someone so offbeat that they can't even figure out where their words should hit the kick and the snare. And that's really important. because that line, that's what relates to what I've hated about all the albums, not all the albums, but you know, the albums we were talking about last year, a lot of the ones that you and Jambo brought to the best albums of the year debate. I don't know, that's just what frustrates me about a lot of new music, is people not talking about anything.
But this, you're saying he's talking about things here. You're saying he's talking about things. Tell me what he's talking about in this album, in this track. Tell me what he's talking about, because I can tell you what Royce is talking about, but I can't really tell you what M's talking about, because I'll be honest, that Royce line kind of took all my attention. So tell me what he's talking about this album on this track that makes you think that, oh, he's talking about something. What's he saying? Because I'll be honest, I don't know. Like, really, on a lot of this, it doesn't have that cohesive feel of an album with a theme. It starts off that way, and again, this is what I was saying at the beginning, which was like, when you have an album cover, when you've definitely took a concept on board, but you're not ever near the concept at all. Like, this is nothing to do with the concept. So music's been murdered by.
It completely, the whole thing is a fully cohesive album. It's got it's bookended with all of it. It sticks. It does have a theme. It does. You do listen. You do want to listen to the album start to finish. I'm not sure what point you're making.
No, but when you say a theme, where's the theme in this track? Unaccommodating. Where's the murderous horrorcore theme? Like, that theme isn't there.
You said it should be murderous horrorcore. He never said he was going to do.
No, but listen. He's took Hitchcock as inspiration. Hitchcock's thing is murderous and humorous. That whole album is murderous and humorous. He has got murderous stuff on here with the intro and all that, but you can't tell me there's a theme that actually sticks all the way through this strongly. I'm disagreeing there straight away.
No, I'm not saying the theme doesn't.
He abandons the theme.
No, because each track is about something, and he sticks to the point within each track. He does. He has entire tracks about.
What's this track about?
Some of them aren't that. Some of them are just hip hop tracks with him exercising his rhyming ability, and that's also good. That's what you come to Eminem for.
But when you're with Royce and Royce is actually talking about something, then I would like you to talk about something. That's not a far reach.
He doesn't give a fuck what you would like. Jesus Christ.
I don't give a fuck either way. He doesn't matter what M thinks now. This is out in the public sphere. He's lost control of what people like, how he can control this album. Like, that's what an artist does. An artist does stuff to express themselves and say, this is how I feel about it. Don't matter, mate. It's in the National Gallery now. It's what other people feel about it. That's the difference. That's art. So if he's doing that, I don't care if he doesn't care. I have an opinion. So he's like, this is the whole point. But just going on to this Royce thing in between Eminem, this kind of goes into my other point about this. I was going to talk about it later, but I might talk about it now. Grown man rap. You don't have to always include dad jokes, Em. He loves to do them, but like, okay, you don't always have to. What I like about grown man rap is what Royce is saying about his wife. Obviously, a lot of it's political and social, so it hits on those levels. But even when he talks about his life growing up in his other albums, The Book of Ryan, about his dad. So those personal relationships that can be dysfunctional, which M loves a dysfunctional relationship, which we'll talk about. Royce also talks about them, but I just feel them more. Maybe because he didn't talk about them as much before M kind of came out talking about them. I was just thinking about it. I was trying to broaden the argument when I was thinking about this track. So Royce kind of dad rap. I'd love M to do that. I would love M to do that. But M's not shifted that way at all, really. He doesn't really feel like doing that. His relationships and stuff. What I would love to hear, either stuff about his daughter again. Where are they right now? Maybe more of the political shit he did. I enjoyed his Trump stuff. I really enjoyed them singles. And I was like, wow, okay, I'm looking forward to more of this. I know he does a little bit of that on Darkness. Then I just thought, really, as an M fan, as a guy who's got him in my top 5 and someone who fucking loves M, what do I really want from M? And I was just like, you know what I want? Just make battle albums. That's it, right? In the era of the MC and the producer collab that we are living in right now, you're Eminem. You're the biggest rap star in the world. You've got more money than most fucking rappers. You have all these t-shirts on and you talk about all these 90s albums that me and you love, right, Ray? Imagine if M just went, do you know what? My favourite producers that I'm never going to work with because I'm going to die at some point, I'm just going to go get my favourite producers and like now go do it. Do a project with Primo. And Primo would want to do that. Why would Primo not want to do that? He's done it with Royce.
Yeah,
Primo would get millions of more views on his music.
Pete Rock.
Right? Do Pete Rock, another Bad Meets Evil. I'd love to see that bit. Do an album with Q-Tip or Alchemist or, like you said, Pete Rock. Or even better yet, right? You're from Detroit. You release a Detroit mixtape about all Detroit artists. That's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Now, go to Apollo Brown. Go to Black... Exactly, right? And Detroit, rep that fucking shit. Or even just do another Slaughterhouse without Joe Budden. This is where I'm at now with them. Like, I've realised, like, the argument for he's not saying anything can be completely undercut if he just went, I'm not. You're right. I'm just going to fucking murder people. And that's what I thought this album might be. but then it goes into some absolutely awful shit. But we're going to go into that on the next few tracks.
Hey, yo, this your boy Farrell March, and right now, you are rocking live with the Crate 808 podcast. Enjoy this week's episode, and just remember to subscribe and rate and review. Peace.
So, next track, we talked about awful shit. Those kind of nights. Here we go. I've got 2 words that I listed for this, which was literally no thanks. No thanks. No.
This is such a generic opinion.
Awful.
It's generic. That's what you, Jambo, a load of people are saying. Oh, Ed Sheeran. I'm not going to listen to that.
You want me to go in? I can go in. I can properly go in on it. Okay, right. Okay. So
before you do, I'm just saying. Let me just to let know where the other opinion is. I'm fucking feeling this track. I'm fucking on board.
Of course you are.
Go for it.
Of course you are.
You go.
Of course you are. Right. Where to even start? Let's start with the production, because that's the easiest bit to just go into straight away. Then we'll go into the lyrics. This is 2005 pop music. So why do I give a shit about that? Because first of all, I ain't clubbing that much as I used to, raving. But if I was raving, I wouldn't be raving to this. And this is exactly what DA got that dope trying to do with this beat. And he actually isn't a bad producer. I'm not having a go at him. But like for this one, I was like, what the fuck? The beat just simply is old, tired beat. I didn't enjoy the beat at all, right? But then the punchlines. You talked about punchlines.
Yeah.
We talk about them. We'll talk about them generally, right?
Fucking quality.
What the fuck, right? She said she wants to go out with me. I said, go with you where? She said, out. I said, I'm a candle. I'll go out if you blow on me. You're better than that, Em. You're better than that. You're so much better than that.
There are some low points. Yeah.
Like that is bad, mate. We'll talk about Stepdad as well. We got to talk about Stepdad because there's some jokes in there where I was like, what the fuck? And then you go into stuff like, again, we talked about the concept. What's this got to do with Alfred Hitchcock? What's this got to do with murdering?
It hasn't got to be all about the same thing. It's just...
what's your idea of a concept? What's your idea of... We had to go at Eve for not delivering on a concept.
You're not making any sense. If he did every single... If he did every single track about the Alfred Hitchcock theme, you'd literally be on this podcast right now going like, but they're all the same. They're all about the same thing. What about something different?
No, because that's
something off topic.
That's what a project is. That's what a cohesive concept project is.
No, it isn't. That's not what he said.
And inconsistently not go to the concept.
Oh, so is Dark Side of the Moon all about exactly the same thing, is it?
Yes, that's the fucking point. Dark Side of the Moon is about the same thing.
No, it isn't.
Dark Side of the Moon is about getting old. Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. Every fucking track is about the same thing.
No,
this
it isn't.
Club track is not about being murdered or horrorcore or anything like on Relapse. Like anything like on Relapse is exactly what you should listen to.
We're not talking about Relapse.
Project.
We're not talking about. We're talking about this, and it's just.
But then don't make a concept album.
It's a package
don't make a concept album.
What are you talking about? Not make a song concept album. There's a range within it.
When the fuck is clubbing to a shit track with Ed fucking Sheeran part of that concept, or even slightly part of that? It's a broadening of the concept. Wait, it's nowhere near it's not. The point is, just say it's inconsistent, because he does bring the concept up, but just not with stuff like this. Plus, I fucking hate the track. I hate it. It's the enduring problem with M. His whole persona, right, is predicated on being an angry outsider man, right, who will shock you. That's fine. That is fine, right? That persona doesn't translate well now. It just doesn't, right? His anger is directed at the same things all the time, and then you're trying to find the perfect bars at the same time, but this is revival level bad. Like, you do stuff with pop stars with this awful production, and then sprinkle in some battle raps now and again. No, it's not gonna... It just doesn't work for me, mate. Like, all he has to do is not do pop rap. Like, if anything, you will win if you don't do this. Like, that's how easy it is for
He's
him.
still winning. He's ticking all boxes. All you got to do is skip the track. And move on with your life.
I knew you were going to say
Meanwhile, the rest of us can be on this. There is something early 2000s about the beat, 100%, yeah. And I know you, and I can already picture Jambo's face listening to this as well. His anger makes me enjoy this more. But
not just Jambo's, mate. I would say anyone with any taste in music. That's what I would say.
Well, you're being correct, because it's the biggest selling album of the year. Obviously, it's only two weeks.
So you do care about sales then? Do you care about awards as well then, Ray? Do you also care about what people say on Twitter?
No, you can't have your cake and eat it. You can't have your cake and eat it. You can't say people don't like it, and then I give you any evidence that people do, and then you say it doesn't count. I'm arguing with you on your level.
How many streams has this track got? Because I don't think this is track streams anywhere near.
Let's have a look right now.
Yeah, have a look. Let's have a look.
Cool.
Let's have a look.
Let's go into Spotify. I'm going to...
But by the way, my argument is never sales. Never. You know from the first episodes of this podcast, I've always said sales don't mean fuck all. So when you say I'm arguing on your level, I've never argued about sales. That's the difference, isn't it? I understand what people might like because of the figures. Fair. The album did do really well. It's Eminem. He's the biggest selling rap star of all time. But you just saying, just skip it, is giving it a... apologist.
Those Kind of Nights. It's number 3 on the Spotify top list, and there's 14,752,719. It'll be 720 by the end of this podcast.
Okay.
I'm going to put it on.
Right, is that the most on the album? Is that the most on the album?
No, it's not. Godzilla is.
Okay, so Godzilla is.
Yeah,
but
only 14 million listens, mate. Yeah, it's shit. No one likes it. No, those listens are just mistakes. People have left it running in the background. They've been like, oh shit, can't skip it.
Right. Can anyone who regularly listens to this podcast, if anyone is out there who does regularly listen to the podcast, right? Ray is actually using the people, the masses, who he has consistently called stupid.
I'm arguing with you on your level. I'm arguing on your level. I'm using your. These are things that you talk about.
When have I ever brought that up? When have I ever brought up sales? When have I ever brought up streaming numbers?
It's another version of people on Twitter. It's another version of people on Twitter, though, isn't it?
So in your mind, it's another version of people on Twitter. Okay, right. Either way. First of all, would you go clubbing to this? I'm just if these kind of nights came on, would you rave to it?
What are you talking about? We're fucking almost 40. We're not clubbing. What are you talking about?
Okay,
we're talking about.
So when you did last go clubbing,
exactly, it was in the early 2000s, and it would have been to this tune. Then this came on, next to I can't even fucking remember the tune.
No, it wouldn't. You'd have hated this as a kid. You've hardened to a very big M apologist.
I probably would have, but the thing is what I like about it.
You can't even see when he does shit.
What I like about it is people disliking it. Because I think it does work, and Ed's squeaky clean and M's pretty disgusting and disrespectful on the track, and I like that kind of juxtaposition. And there's some of it. There's more clever dad joke, double meanings in here as well, which I'm loving. Is that Eminem's skirt if it's a maxi? The shortest thing for a dress, Cincinnati. And it's like Cincinnati, which is in Ohio, and he's talking about Miss Ohio. And that's something that's not for you. And it's not for people, you guys that are like, oh, that's cringing, oh, I don't like it, skip it. No, but it's like people...
But then he calls a woman a Bengal and a catty afterwards.
People that love the fucking wordplay and the double meanings and the go back to it, that like I do, that's in there. That's if you're like, oh, it's got Ed Sheeran on it, I'm going to skip it. It's fine. You can miss out on the beauty of what he's puts into the fucking wordplay.
God, the beauty. This is one of the worst tracks of all time.
It is.
It's not. Anyone who says some of them corny punchlines. Wow.
I can't. That's the thing. I can't. That's what beauty. That's the thing about beauty is that you can't explain to someone what that is. You get it or you don't, and that's fine. That's fine.
That's very true.
Don't worry about it.
That's very true. Kind of renders this whole podcast just like no legs. Sorry, lads, we're deleting everything now. but this is just the start of this run for M. That positive start that we had.
You know what you should do. You should take off like a sick day. Oh, he's got another one in there.
Oh my lord.
I love the fact that people cringe about it.
I know what you're doing. You're doing it in a trolley kind of way, but I know that back in the day, me and you listening to this, I know we'd have reacted like we reacted to some of his other albums, which was like, yeah. And you used to be that way. I remember when Encore came out, we never really loved Encore, but Eminem show we were in. And
yeah, but listen, those were the days when we were also listening to the other albums that came out at the time. So you got your Slim Shady LP coming and that we're bumping, but at the same time, Capital Punishment's there and DMX's albums are there, and all these people that are bringing a high level of rapping. They ain't shit now. So when Eminem brings it, even his worst tracks, I'm still feeling, because again, I don't want to keep going to Bandana, but it's the obvious present example. And there's not any of that on there. And it's just, so people lower their standards and think really highly of someone who can barely sit on the beat properly and tries to pack in too many words. And, don't get me wrong, Bandana has grown on me, but it's because of the gaping chasm of anything else that's, everything missing.
That's a good context to put it in, and we did grow up in a more. But even when Encore and Marsh was coming out, that was 50 Cent time, mate. That wasn't that time. I think at that time we started thinking there was a bit of thinness to the game because we didn't really listen to a lot of Southern rap as much as most people, and think that's why we kind of felt that, because we were more East West Coast bound. But that's going back to the noughties either way. But with this track, no, but fair. So what you just said there, just before we do move on, because Into Dupe's the next track, and really all I've got to say about that is no. Again, dysfunctional relationship, no. But before that, just so I know, when you say the things you find interesting, because I know you've said this about other albums as well, it really is the lyrics, isn't it? Like you're saying, you're here just for really to hear that 2, 3, 4 time flip of something, and like, you know, you're here for that, right?
Yeah, I'm here for that, but you know, that's there's levels to it. I mean, there's that like over a sick beat, you know, like we said, you've covered it already. If M dropped an album over fucking, you know, Primo, Pete Rock, it's going to be. So
you agree that would be the best thing, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Because that's how that's where I think he is now. I don't need him to even try to do any like meaningful content if it's this, if it's that, right? Either way, In Too Deep. That's all I've got to say about it. What else have you got? There's 20 tracks here, so I'm I'm cutting the ones where I ain't got anything to say.
Yeah, In Too Deep. It's a skipper, and we shouldn't go into too much detail on it. It's, you know, there's
yeah,
but you know, he does. The thing is, he does. It's an example of he picks a subject and sticks to it and fully explores it, kind of thing. You know, I can't tell if I'm cheating on her with you or cheating on you with her. It's you know, it's he does explore it all, and it's you know, it's
yeah, he does. But I don't know why is it then? Why is it? If like I know I used Royce a few times. I know you're not really enjoying that comparison, but like if someone did talk about a relationship where they were cheating, I'm trying to think of another rapper who did that. Would I be as interested? Maybe not. But then I'm like, if Royce spat that on his new album, maybe I would be interested. Maybe it's the subject matter. Maybe it's the subject matter on that track where I'm like, I don't care. And again, like I said before, what's he got to do with anything that he talks about at the beginning? I'm just going to cast off that argument now because it literally just goes into those same arguments we've been talking about. But like, again, doesn't really stick to any theme about what I thought. That's In Too Deep.
Look, I'm not going to keep going on about the point, but at no point did Eminem say, by the way, this whole album's going to be about this. He's presented it as a package, you know, it's something, you know, I imagine he's probably made the album and then been like, all right, there's somewhat of a theme to some of it. And then you're right. How are we going to market this? And you know, what are we going to call the album? It's afterthought. You don't make the album cover and the theme and music to be murdered for, and then make the tunes. Do you know what I mean? It's the other way around.
But then we agree there. It's not thought through. It's just a half afterthought.
It's not an after. I mean, I don't think it's not. What you're talking about afterthought.
You just said afterthought.
Yeah, but no one. Yes, exactly. But what the saying is, I'm not saying it's like a dismissive afterthought. That's not the way you make music as you go along. You're not like, oh, music to be murdered to. I've got to make 17 tracks that are just music to be murdered to. 13 max.
Well,
whatever the fuck. You don't make it all about the same thing, do you?
No, but maybe that's the difference then, because I assumed it was because he has done that before. Remember, it's implicit in what you do, mate. Like, people can read it that way. Like, you can't think that people aren't going to read it that way. When you have packaged something, you intro something, you have the Hitchcock. He even Instagrammed it, didn't he? Like, inspiration for the latest album. Bang. I was like, oh wow, all the signs were there for me to read it as a proper concept album, because he kind of did the same thing with Relapse, didn't he? When he released the was that the album where he released the pills and stuff like that? I can't remember. There was some kind of PR marketing behind it where I was like, oh right, they're really going for that whole thing, and bang, it fucking worked. But then yeah, but fair enough, whatever it is, let's go on to Godzilla. DA got that dope. He's just made one of the worst tracks I've ever heard, but now he's made I fucking like this track. I actually really like this track. I didn't think it would work this well, but it actually does. So Ray, Godzilla, man, what are you saying? Come on, let's bring it.
Yeah, Godzilla. To be honest, I wasn't really feeling the beat. It's a little bit Iggy Azalea, isn't it? To be honest, you know, when it starts playing,
it is poppy.
When you play, never mind poppy. It's specifically Iggy Azalea. We listen to it. Now that I've said that, when you listen to the beat kick in, you're like, oh fucking hell. And is
it really? I don't listen to a lot of Iggy. So is it really like?
It's really like one of her biggest tunes. Just you know, certain tunes you just end up having an aversion to. There's something reminiscent of that. I didn't research which one it was. Why would you? Who cares? But
who cares? I really don't know much about her work.
Eminem smashes it, and you know he does this whole thing where he sets he sets a new world record for rapping at speed kind of thing with this one, and that's fine. That's impressive, and some of the lines are sick. You know, the chorus kind of grows on you as well, actually. But yeah, there's too many lines in this to quote as well. That whole 100% of you is a fifth of a percent of me. It's almost it's also satisfying to say as well. That's what I'm saying about the beauty of some of the stuff that he writes, because it's just 100% of you is the fifth of a percent of me. Just the way, just some of that it's just really well formulated.
Do you know what? Sorry to interrupt your thing, but I love doing it. Do you know what you said in the last one where he goes, I can't remember the lyric, but it's like, Din, 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 din. I'm in the boxing gym. I'm hitting that boxing gym.
Yeah. Rhymes of oxygen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, mate. That was that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm with you on that. What else you got for the track?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't got. To be honest, I haven't got much more about it. I mean, what I'd say about the rapping at speed. Again, he's if you're listening hard, you can make out every word, kind of thing. But it's not something that like how we think of Glorious, Sky Zoo. That tune you put on, you're like, oh shit, just easy, relaxing listen. This one is like, oh, you got to concentrate, and you know what? I don't think he's even trying. He's not aiming to make this a tune that you come back to. It is something that he's just blatantly showing off his skill. And it's like, yeah, maybe it'll be something, and people are arguing about, the fastest rappers or whatever. You can be, put this on, check this out, yeah. And it's an example, but you're not bumping in the club, and it hasn't got the head nod ability to walk down the street to you.
That's the thing, because obviously you looked at the streaming views, and it's number one, and it's number one in the chart, like it's number one everywhere. And then obviously Juice WRLD being huge, but like I'll have to say, mate, when you talk about rapping fast and all that, I'd just be interested to know how many people really care about fast rap anymore. I think it kind of ended with Rap God for me, because you're never going to do better than that. I'm sorry, but just anyone out there who tries to do fast rap, you'll never do that, because on Rap God, it's different to this, because like you said here, he's not really saying anything. What is it? I'm unfadable, you want to battle, I'm available, I'm blowing up like an inflatable, I'm undebatable, I'm unavoidable, I'm unevadable, I'm on a toilet bowl. It's like, right, yeah, like not a lot of that makes any sense, but we like Doom, we like Kool Keith, because this abstract shit that sometimes they bring, so it has a lot of them vibes. But yeah, it just is nowhere near the same reaction out of me that Rap God got, even though the track did get me going like, whew, like you're like, oh, that was sick. So I think this track, yeah, I mean, one thing I really enjoyed is he's trying these new sounds out. And this is the thing when people say, oh, you're just doing the same thing. Well, no, there's parts on this album. Yes, he has the Dre beats. Yes, he does the poppy shit with Ed Sheeran. But this is something I've not really... Fuck you, mate. I think this is going to go on all 2020 about this track, fucking These Nights. I think we're going to keep bringing this fucker up. But Godzilla, genuinely, I was like, wow. So you've got all these people with Black Thought and Royce and all that. You're balancing a lot on this album. You're balancing a lot. Like, if you actually scratch beneath the surface, he's got loads of different tracks which are more conscious, maybe trying to do, or he's got like people he's trying to keep on the same level as Black Thought on a track. Imagine the writing that's to go into that. When Black Thought's going to be on the track, you're going to have to bring it in. You can't fucking get, you know what I mean? You'll go, as soon as I see that, or I see Slaughterhouse, I don't know if it's my 90s hip-hop brain, but automatically I start thinking, who's going to win this track? And I just think that. So when Black Thought and Eminem are on one track, who the fuck is going to win that? We'll talk about that later. But with this, when it's with someone like Juice WRLD, that's a different vibe. I see that and I'm like, I really don't know what to expect. I had a little bit of a like, oh no, like that kind of feeling where I'm like, God, I hope this is fucking not bad. But
yeah, it's a similar expectation to the Ed Sheeran thing, to be honest. Before hearing both, and they're both on paper.
That's exactly But the Ed Sheeran track did exactly what I thought it would do. But this has grown on me. Obviously, he's done very well on the charts. But I think like him and Juice WRLD mesh really well together.
Yeah, well,
like,
it does
if you
work.
got next gen, and like him trying to make it work, and you got to give M props for that. You have to. Like with that, M, you can be seen as like, what was it? He did a Griselda track, didn't he? Was it with West Side? No, with Conway, wasn't it? Last year, and everyone's like, oh, the track just becomes an Eminem track, and Young M.A. track. I thought that a little bit as well, but with this. Nah, man, they're sick, and R.I.P. Juice WRLD, man, because I would have actually liked to see more of this, because Juice WRLD's like, M is his like favourite rapper of all time, and that's nice as well. Like, I know he's passed away now, but it's like, for M to do that is fucking good. Like, he shows respect, and that should not be slept on nowadays, where, new next generations, people could quite easily be very, very, Pete Rockish, I suppose, is, or KRS-One-ish, which is the new generation shit. Like, M is reaching out and being like, well, no, I think we can do stuff together, and it's wicked. And the first verse is fucking fire, but there's some, yeah, I mean, there are corny lines, but there's some fucking molten lava, hot fucking fireball lines, and you're like, shit, M, why are you doing this? Like, I let it go because it's M in it, but like, because I'm about to set trip vacation plans. Sort of, I was like, does he mean?
That's so good. It's so good.
Mate, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was quite corny, but it then goes on to like one of the worst lines on the fucking album, which is, how can I have all these fans and perspire like a liar's pants? I'm on fire.
It's fucking quality. It's fucking wicked.
See, I know you do. I I'm not gonna lie, I can't, but also I kind of laugh because it's like dad rap. It's bad dad jokes. It's like maybe I don't.
The thing is, he
feel
can
them
do the
as
whole
bad
range.
for someone like
He
him.
can do. That's the thing. He's just exercising. Then he goes on to, you know, what, the fastest rapper of all time. You know, at the end with the last verse, and then the whole range of content from like the corny shit. Imagine his thought process when he's writing it. He's like, oh shit, that's really corny. Fuck it, I'm putting it in anyway. You know, that whole thing. It's just like, I don't give a fuck.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is that kind of matey. Maybe he's still working on that level. Maybe. None of us really know, but maybe he is. Maybe he's at home. He's just like, fuck it, I'm going to do it anyway. But then that makes him think when all my sons or whatever are getting cornier. I was like, mate, come on. You can't use that word because you are corny. But then again, maybe he's at home just fucking smoking a blunt and being like, yeah, fuck it, I am just going to do that. Which is fair enough. Which is absolutely fair enough.
Yo, what up, y'all? This is DJ Premier, and you're checking out the Crates 808 podcast. I put an S on it because there's more than one record in the crate, you know what I'm saying? So that's how we dig, that's how we play, and that's what real DJs do. You heard? That's why it goes down. We out here.
And then we go to Darkness.
Yeah.
So, a little bit of hesitation in the voice there, Ray.
No hesitation. I love it. Yeah, it's a great tune.
Okay, I was going to say, because I also do really enjoy this track. Well, when I first heard it, I saw the video first time, and the whole thing hit home a bit more, I think, with the video when I first saw it. Surprised that Royce was on the production for this. I mean, I know we talked about him on Gon Learn, and that beat is sick, but like, even with his... have you heard his new single, by the way? Overcomer, from his new project coming out. Have you heard that?
Royce's?
Yeah, with Westside
No,
Gun.
I haven't heard it yet. No.
Mate, it's amazing seeing producing. Mate, really Detroit sound, soulful, dusty, like ground-shifting soundscape, mate. That single... First of all, that single has like 3 beat switches, which, you know, I fucking love a beat switch. But like, just nice to see him producing. I'm like, wow, like M's gone on and done it with some success. And when I heard like Darkness, I was quite surprised to see Royce on the thing. One thing just hit me straight away as soon as I heard Darkness was, do you know what? If you'd just made Revival like this, then I think you would have saved that album if you did more of it like this. Like, you are saying something which you did on Revival, but with this, at least you've, you know, it's not just about relationships and music critics and ineffectual fucking club tracks. Like, you know, he when he broadens out the subject, I love that. He doesn't make it about him. Do you know what I mean? Like, he puts himself outside of it and it works. It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Even though the ending was a little bit on the nose when I first heard it, I was like, oh, do we need this longer process of hearing all these radio stations? But then I was like, but then again, I suppose you do to get the enormity of the subject, probably. But again, you know, Darkness, music to be murdered by. There is a little bit of a theme there. I was like, okay, that's so it clicked in with that as well. Again, talking about gun violence. I really like this Eminem. I mean, it still lyrically works really well because he's talking about 2 different things: murdering a stage and murdering a show.
Yeah, it's cool, and just the development of it. The first verse being like round after round, I'm getting loaded, drinks or, you know, thinking about is it drinks or bullets, and then the next one, the stage is filling up, and then, you know, it's magazines on the floor of a hotel room, and you're like, all right, is it magazines or just is it, you know? He's talking about how much he hates the media, and then the last verse is the big reveal because it's like it's not at all. The whole thing is built up like he's preparing for a stage show, and then it's not. It's obviously it's a Las Vegas shooting, and again, it's like it's really cleverly done, and it's like in the style of, you know, how I guess Kim and Stan, and, you know, because he's kind of playing a character and he's expressing the thoughts that character, you know, that character would have, and it's just expertly done in.
He's done it before. He's done it before, and he can still do it, and that's the thing. That's what works, and especially when he applies it to real life stuff. You're like, wow, because it is a fucking. In today's world, I do like to hear artists talking about things like either broaden the subject that's outside of yourself or go introspective and talk about stuff that I might be feeling or may have felt or whatever, or my little lad or whatever may feel when they're older. These are the things that I like in rap. And again, I get a lot of it from like people like Black Thought. His stuff does that. His EPs that he brought out did that. So I thought Darkness was good. Fair play to you, mate. You know, you've got hits on here that kind of work for the popular masses and for the heads, I suppose. Leaving Heaven.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Yeah, Leaving Heaven. I know the tracks he does with Skylar Grey sometimes get a bit of hate.
A little bit.
Is that fair to say?
A little bit. Little bit of hate.
I'm fucking loving this one as well. I'm loving it. I'm used to. It's like it's become like a regular duo, isn't it? And I'm feeling it. It works. He's got some sick lines on it as well. That my eyes are tigers and I'm a survivor, so I'll rise up. And it's that reference to the Eye of the Tiger by Survivor. Rising to the challenge of a
that's what I've got down on one of the corny lines.
Who gives a fuck about what you think's corny? That's just
line.
ridiculous. We've already covered that. It's all right. M can do the corny stuff because then he brings it. When I'm looking at my legacy, your fucking favourite word, legacy. Legacy. When I'm looking at my legacy, I'm seeing a bunch of dogs trying to hump it. That's you. He's talking about you. You are one of those dogs trying to dry hump his fucking leg.
What does that mean?
It's just when he's looking at his legacy, a bunch of dogs trying to dry. Oh, well, you want to. I'll fucking explain the meaning.
No. When you say that's me, I'd like to know what you're trying to say. What are you trying to say? That I'm.
It's what you're talking about today. You keep referring back to but this album, that album, and referring back to because you're generally talking about his legacy, and you always talk about legacy with everyone.
Yeah, of course I do, but that doesn't mean I detract from their current stuff. I never detract from their current stuff if your legacy is a thing to be proud of. That's what I'm like. I'm like, wow, look at what they've done in their life.
Yeah.
And then when they get to make something new, you're
dry humping it. Because you love it.
But then why is that detrimental? Why is that detrimental to like someone's legacy? Because I never detract from. I know what he's trying to do where he'll say like new critics or like critics now hate me because I did really good stuff before. Mate, I'm not saying that. Like I keep saying, Kamikaze might be top 5 M projects for me. That's new. That's like 2-3 years old. So I'm not doing that. I am with you, mate. I'm on, like, if I could be where you're at, Ray, I'd love to be where you're at. Like Jambo said the other day, I want to be in your gang and like this kind of music. It just doesn't resonate with me. I don't like Skylar really that much. I could never pick her out in a like voice lineup. I don't really. It's just when Eminem does she do anything on her own? I never know if she does her own.
I don't know if she does, but I'm all right with it. If I only ever know her as Eminem's chorus singer a couple of times, then that's cool because
you're basically
it works.
Danny Boy. She's basically Danny Boy from Death Row. That's who she is. Danny Boy would turn up, do some hooks for Death Row, then go back to his room. And they just close the door and they'd be like, bring Danny out, we need a hook. Right? But no, that's fine. What I'm saying is this, like, I just don't like this kind of music. I mean, I don't know what more, there's nothing more I can really say because you obviously really like it. I don't. Let's move on. I don't
really like it. I don't really dislike it, but it's another one of those things. Exactly what Eminem related to at the start when he says, "Oh, I do this, people don't like it. So then I do what they want, and then people don't like it." So it's like he's on a track with some of the biggest singers in the world. He's done stuff with fucking Beyonce and Ed Sheeran on this thing, and like people don't like it. And then all of a sudden he does something with some complete unknown as well. Oh, people don't like it. So all right, then you can't win. It's fine. And he's all it doesn't. There's no pleasing. There's no pleasing you.
No. For me, you talk about me?
Yeah, you.
No, because I can tell you that. No. Your argument is so twisted because what I'm saying is I don't like any of them. So when you say, "Oh,
no,
exactly," I do this, I don't like it.
So what
I don't like singing hooks. I don't like singing. I've told you what I like. I like stuff like Godzilla. Actually, I'm surprised I like that, but I like stuff like You Gon Learn, Yah Yah that we're going to talk about. I will. That's my fucking shit. What I'm saying is, when you're talking about me specifically, dog, if you're calling me out on that level, that's bullshit because he's saying, I try this and you don't like it. I try this, you don't like it. Yeah, all those three things are the same thing. Pop singers on hooks with Eminem doing pop tracks. No, I don't like that. You're right. I don't like that. But when you try stuff like I like it. So the point is, M's going, oh yeah, people, I can't win. You can. Don't do any of them tracks. Don't do any of them tracks that you pop tracks and you win. You win, dog. You win. Either way, we're detracting from the real conversation right now. Yah Yah. Here we go. First of all, you see the track listing. Every 90s head's probably going to get a massive hard on as big as Ray's was at the beginning of this album. So you're like, yeah, Q-Tip, let's go. Black Thought, let's go. Then you hear the Sonics, man. The mix of the first thing I heard was like, oh, right, it obviously sounds quite old school, but it also sounds very new school. So straight away, I looked on who's on the boards, and it's Denon Porter, con artist, Mr. Porter. So I was like, wow, this is sonically, yeah, fair, let's go. And it's almost like that one that M did with Rick Rubin for Marshall Mathers 2 LP. Do you know, what's that? Berserk or something? Do you remember that one? It felt like that. I remember when I first heard Berserk or whatever it's called, and I was like, yeah, that. I'm looking forward to this kind of M. So yeah, mate, I'm in on this track, definitely. Black Thought. Mate, the whole verse is a fucking outrage, man. I stopped and rewinded it You know, when I really stopped to rewind it, the first time, right, was when I heard this Black Thought verse, and Thought could just go on for so fucking long, can't he?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's all fucking fire. And there's one bit in it where I heard M ad-lib, with them fucking noises, canceless headphones, and you hear fucking M go, keep going, ad-lib at the background. I was like, even that is M in the studio going, just keep going, and going in. It's almost like he just went into the booth quickly and went, keep going, and just ran away. Mate, it's brilliant. And the lines are fucking amazing. All my dogs is out the reservoir, top 5, I'm where the legends are. Keep going. Yeah. And then he says, I'm the Rat Pernell Whitaker, the honourable minister, leaving every amateur inoperable. I finished them, making plaques out of their head like dead venison. Used to be the bad lieutenant with M. Illiton, spinning over fabulous jams my man Dilla sent. Oh, mate. I was like, you give the Dilla shout out. You've fucking done the Reservoir Dogs shit. Oh, man, that might be the best verse. Fuck yeah, that might be. That's good. Yeah.
If you ain't standing up for yourself, then stay seated. Yeah, he's got some sick lines in that, definitely.
I love how Ray's just like, it's good. It's good. But if we're going into it, talk about M. Got to talk about M here, man. Fucking hell. This is what I'm talking about. You just said, I don't like that other shit. But, mate, this is what I'm here for, man. First of all, just my one detraction from the whole track, even though it's really good. I was thinking I would have liked to hear a Q-Tip verse as well as the hook. Like, I really like the hook. Like, my era is original. You know that bit?
Yeah.
I love that. I just don't want to just keep doing hooks, because they did them on the Gangstar album as well. And I was like, I want you to spit 16, because you would probably work on this, man. Like, you would work as with verse. But, I mean, that's really the only detraction I have from this track. But the Eminem lines, can I just spit you my favourite bars?
Do it.
This is quite long, and I might butcher it, but I can't delete any of this. Me in this game, we got married already, had the prenup ready, fucked on her, should have seen her belly, she barely was 3 months pregnant, bitch had it, gave me a baby, we called it Machine Gun Kelly. Yeah. Brilliant. And then he goes, now here's to LL, Big L and Del, K Solo, Tretch and G-Rap, DJ Polo, Tony D, ODB, Mo D, Run DMC, Ed OG and EPMD, DOC, Ice-T, Evil D, King T, UTFO and Schoolie D, PE and BDP. You just said a lot of letters there, dog, but they all mean something. It's brilliant. YZ and Chili Ali and Chai Ali, Rakim and Eric B were like my therapy, from B.I.G. in Paris, 3 times dope, and Some Will Never See, and PRT, NWA and Eazy-E, and DRE was like my GPS. Without him, I don't know where I'd be.
Yeah, boom. Just, yeah.
Can I get a tattoo of that on my back? Can I get away with a massive on my back? Because I'm like, fuck, man, Eminem, like...
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. That's why he's top 5, man. Like, either way, mate, I know I've just gone off there on one, but what did you think?
No, that's it. It's the same verse, same of all. Yeah, ridiculous. Dre's like my GPS. Without him, I don't know where it'd be. It's also, just another simile that you could see as a dad joke, but off the back of the verse that you just said, it's just like...
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
If you're that's that kind of dad joke doesn't matter. If you're hiding them in such brilliant wordplay.
But the track's ridiculous. With Black Thought as well, it's just, all of it is just, that's one you're going to come back to over and over, isn't it?
Absolutely. On the Crate 808 Bangers playlist. Go out there and check it out, man. It's on Spotify.
Speaking of tracks you're going to come back to over and over again, Stepdad. I love it. He's treading new ground. This whole Eminem hating a parent thing. It's so unexplored. It's something like, this is shocking and new and revelationary. It's not, is it?
Mate, it's revival level bad for sure. It's up there, but like it is funny, isn't it? Like, am I the only one who listened to this and was kind of laughing like whilst I was listening to it? Like,
I mean, I don't know.
Like, it's
really well trodden ground for Eminem at this stage. But you know what? Maybe for him putting one of these tracks, the album would feel incomplete without something. He has at least he's been original with, like, it's not about Kim and it's not about his mum. It's like, all right, look, have I covered the Stepdad thing before? Oh yeah.
If you're actually looking at proper insight into a track like this, though, like the only insight could really be, I was like, maybe the shouty hooks and like if you're talking about like a dysfunctional home relationship with domestic abuse involved, and he's marrying it up with the beat that sounds like it's a massive, massive anthem. It's kind of tactless a little bit, but it also makes me think this probably works for him when he goes live. I hate it, but maybe he's thinking that like a stadium track that my younger fans might get with.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think as well, I accept that I am not the target audience for this tune. But maybe it works for someone who is. Maybe it is for someone who's dealing with a shit parent. Maybe it's something they can relate to, and it's something that relates to. The obvious mentality of someone in that situation that slam the door, go to their room, cry, think about how they're going to murder the the stepdad. Yeah, I reckon it's believable that people could be in that state of mind and do that. I did skip it a lot,
but it's execution, isn't it? And I was really surprised to see Alchemist on the boards. I was like, what? I don't know if that's true or not, but it does have it listed online where it's like Alchemist on the boards. I was like, wow, that's odd, but fair play. Probably got a really good payout. I can't move on though. We talked about corny lines. The fact, right, that Eminem's pulled from Ali G is something. I'm talking euthanasia like kids in Taiwan. And it's straight away when we think, oh, but didn't Ali G do something like that? And then, and Ali G did do a... What the euthanasia got to do with that?
Yeah,
mate, dog, that dated...
I went to that. I thought of that as well, but I think that's because, that was pre him being massive. That was just people that watch Channel 4, wasn't it? So I think you can give that to Eminem. Maybe he wasn't watching Channel 4 in the the late 90s or whenever that came out. I can't remember.
Oh, surely it's gone viral after that, hasn't it? Surely he must have done after that on YouTube, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, no, it might have, yeah. But I think as well, everyone from the UK would probably be thinking the same thing about the same line. But I think, the 16-year-olds with stepdads in America listening to it, I want to know who Ali G is. Oh, so...
yeah, fair. But either way, not a strong look. Now we go on to Marsh. One of the biggest takeaways about this whole thing is he's saying lit in the background, where I was like, wow, okay, wow, he's taking the piss, but I was like, wow, I never thought I'd hear him go, it's lit in the background. Beat is decent. I enjoyed the beat. I can actually hear this beat on a lot of modern rap. Like, this could be a modern rapper's beat. You can hear that. Am I going to listen to it again though? Probably not, because I don't know, I didn't really like the hook. I can see what you're doing, but didn't really resonate with me. And what was the punchlines now about fucking Ed Sheeran being a gingerbread man, being the richest man or some shit? And I was like,
I get dough like Ed Sheeran, so call me the gingerbread man. The gingerbread man. I get dough.
Yeah,
dough like Ed. Because dough turns into bread, and Ed Sheeran's gingerbread man. There's
actually a hat trick of punchlines that got me in the gut like that. That one.
That's quality.
Then I look up at myself because I'm doing a headstand. How could I hit a dry spell? I'm named after the wetlands.
That's quality.
Those. I think it's the wetlands one wouldn't have been that bad on its own, but because the other two kind of come before it, I was like, whew, just a big sight. And it's just, I think the problem at this point is the sequencing of the album, because we're going to go on and get to some fucking really good tracks.
No,
and then you put these ones here.
This is a really good track.
Go on.
The beat's sick. It's M talking about a character that is him, like Marshall Mathers, Slim Shady, those other tracks that he does. Yeah, there's so many lines in this that I've just put fucking laugh out loud next to because there's so many lines of quality.
Good.
It'd be nothing to throw that little bitch with a capital B out the back window of the black Cadillac limo like a whack demo. That's just quality. The idea of him this is shit and throw it out a window and just doing that to a girl.
Well, ironically, it might have happened to his own demos.
It's just fucking quality. Time to go batshit like you ate a Louisville Slugger and crapped it. They're not genius lines, but I'm loving it because it's just Eminem being the Joker again. It's just
Is this a track you're going to rewind? Is it a track you probably go back to?
Well, the long hesitation probably means no, doesn't it? But the thing is, I find with when I'm listening to M, he's someone I listen to the whole album. Do you know what I mean? I haven't really got a lot of his tunes that I've pulled out and put on my, walk to work playlist kind of thing. Yeah, he's more like, I'm in an Eminem mood, and then I listen to Eminem, but otherwise I'm just listening to most. That's the thing. So like most other new music, there'll be one or two tunes here and there that I'm like, Glorious from Metropolitan, that's coming off, and there's a few, Can't Lose from Apollo Brown from Sincerely Detroit. Those are the tracks that I'm pulling out and putting on my, my go-to repeat playlist. Is there a tune on here? I think there is. I mean, I enjoy them. There are some wicked tunes on this album, but I think it works as a complete project. So it's like when you're in an Eminem mood, you listen to the whole thing. Do you know what I mean?
I thought on this album more than most, he's got like 4 tracks or so that you can probably just Godzilla doesn't really fit in this album as I can pick Godzilla out and listen to that. We're talking about rewindability and stuff like that. Do you agree with me that if you'd have cut, so the ones that you like, but say the ones I've said, that like the Ed Sheeran one, this one, if you cut them off the album, it would have been a better project, right?
No.
You don't think?
No, I love all the corny lines. I love the idea of Eminem being like, people are going to think this is corny, and I don't give a fuck. I'm still putting it in there because he's got the quality lines as well. He's got the deep shit. He tackles big subjects. He tackles gun control. He does all of that. He goes in on all different things, relationships, all of it, and quitting drugs, all of it.
Yeah, but
and
the relationship ones that aren't. He does do them, but they're not.
Just name anyone that does a fucking relationship tune that you like. It doesn't fucking exist.
Royce talked about his misses in that verse, and that was really well.
You're
he talked
fucking
about his
Royce's dick at the
that.
moment as well, so it's just it's fine.
Big time. Right. Okay. So good to touch base where we are right now in the album. I think we're about halfway through, guys. So we're almost there. It's such a fucking long album. I'm really sorry it's taking so fucking long, but blame Eminem and then blame us.
Yo, this is Rodney P, the Rhythm Killer, big blood clot things with Enna, you heard me? Yeah, and we're here listening to the Crate 808 podcast. Big things is going and right back to the early morning. If you don't know, get the blood clot. No, you feel me? Yeah, big old man Cam every time. People. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And remember, subscribe it, rate it, review it, and go on and tell your blood clot friends. For real.
So, Never Love Again. Oof, here we go, mate. Never Love Again. What do you say to this one, Ray?
Am I feeling that you don't like this one?
No.
This is the sickest beat on the album.
No way.
Yes, it 100% is. Secondly, it's again, he expertly sticks to the subject. He's subtle about it. You're not sure if he's talking about an actual girl or he is actually talking about drugs, which is the reveal.
Yeah, it's obvious he's talking about drugs. It's not like a hidden thing. It's quite it's like
no, it's not. You know about Eminem, so you know it's about that. But if he told you no, that's not. That's about this girl. Then you're all right. Okay, fine. It could be because it's written with double meanings and similes and all the rest of it in there. Like talk about.
First of all, everyone knows about Eminem, and two, I didn't think it was that hidden. I think but the drugs thing is like fine. It's I'm not saying like don't do it or like it sounds shit. It's just indifferent to his relationship with drugs. I think because we have heard it before, and he's done all this stuff 10 years ago. If I wanted that, then there are other albums he's done about his relationship with drugs. You said it's the best beat on the album. I need to listen to the beat. I don't
accept your comments. I think when people say he's tackled a subject before, he can tackle the same fucking subject as many times as he fucking wants. Why?
No, of course he can.
So
but
this,
then you
so
can't.
this isn't. Hasn't done it this way before. This is Never Love Again. The implication is you can't say that it's blatantly about drugs. The whole style of the tune is it's written as if it's about a girl.
But then it's just right. Let me hear the beat. You just said the beat is the best beat on the album.
Yeah.
Hold on. No, it's not dynamic. It's not like it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't get me because I was like, it just doesn't stand out, mate.
Yeah.
It just doesn't stand out.
But the thing is, you've already lost all credibility because you love the Iggy Azalea track. Oh man, I love the Iggy Azalea track. Right, look at this.
Says the man who likes the Ed Sheeran track. We stopped listening to you. People, to be fair, let's just be honest. As soon as you said that about the Ed Sheeran track, I think people would stop listening, didn't they? It's just me and you, Ray. It's just me and you now, mate. So
I got time for Ed. You got to have time for Ed. You got to have love for Ed. What are you talking about?
First, not like I have nothing for Ed. It's just indifference for Ed. Fair play, do your thing. I don't really feel any. The one time, my missus did like that one track about a body, so enjoyed that one.
Look, I'm loving Never Love Again. He's not trying to be over the top with it, but he's got there's some sick lines in it as well. 1 minute I'm yelling screw you, next I'm trying to take it back. Guess you could say I'm trying to unscrew you. Then that's the implications about it being about drug. Yeah, fine. It's obvious when you know what it is, but it's not directly saying, "Hi guys, this is a tune about my drug addiction." It's not that obvious.
He sold 1 billion albums, mate. I'm sure everyone knows what it is. Like everyone knows.
Yes, I know exactly, but it still is written in a way that it's supposed to lead you to believe that it could be about a girl.
Yeah, but it is. That's not a lie. That's absolutely true. Yeah, it is. But this is the thing. I think when you hold M to a standard, I hold M to a standard. I think our standards is different. Like, you don't mind the corny lines. I think for me, it detracts from the absolute fire I've already talked about on this album that he does bring. So I think that's where I stand. It's just that. It's like, this doesn't hit the standard of M I want. And if M just released a 7-track thing, EP thing or whatever, I would cherish that more than this, because there are these tracks that to be fair, doesn't really matter as much now because the skip button isn't a thing really as much now, is it? Because we take the tracks we want, put them on a playlist. So on that level, this album works, man. There's like 4 or 5 I've taken out, put onto the Crate 808 Bangers playlist. These are tracks I probably will be bumping, like Chloroseptic, the remix. That is a track I will be bumping. I still do bump. So with M, when he does stuff like Never Love Again, it's just stuff that isn't really resonating with me. Fair enough. If it resonates with you, it's all good. Little Engine, man. Little Engine. Dre on the boards. Now we're back again. We've had a little dip for me, but now we're back again. The bars on this are sick. It's a catchy ass fucking song. The show of it's just a showcase of wordplay over a sick beat, which again we talked about. I'm here for. That is what I'm here for. When he says ball like Jay, but not Jay as in Jay-Z, Jay as in Leno, because I got a huge man chin. No, huge man chin.
It's fucking quality.
Now that may be low-key best line on the like that's fucking great. I can just see M doing that. It's the way he spits it as well. But he also says wicked line as well, which was a getter boy, now eyeball out like Bush Big Bill. That the eyeball out thing really got me. Yeah, just generally Little Engine. Yeah, a good hook for once. Fucking brilliant. It's like what is it? The he does all that shit in the middle. Oh man, yeah. I'm here for Little Engine. Is he murdering anyone on it? Is there anything to be murdered by on it? Probably not, but don't matter. This is a banger for me. What are you saying, Ray?
Look, he's not every single track's going to be music to murder. What are you talking about?
How many are?
It's irrelevant.
So
it's a theme to put the tracks together.
It's not irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant.
No, it's not. It's completely irrelevant. No one. We've already covered this. No one says, like, guys, we're making a project now. Okay, it's going to be music to murder by. Oh, okay, cool. Every tune in this album, I'll have to think about the murder theme. I can't do anything else. Anything separate at all.
Just don't do a theme and don't do a theme and just do the cover. That's fine. Just take inspiration from the cover.
No one cares. But Eminem doesn't care about your fucking opinion. Okay, just pack it up.
You've
pack
said
it up,
Eminem
guys.
doesn't
Crate
care.
808, we're done.
What makes you think he cares about
Crate 808 is
anything?
over. No more of Cam's opinion. Fucking hell.
No, but the thing is, when you keep saying Eminem doesn't care, mate, so what? The whole premise of what we do is made on them not caring. That's red. That's as red. Of course, he's never going to care. But we express ourselves, and people somehow like to listen to it.
What you're saying about it is that it
doesn't matter.
No, but you're saying
he doesn't care. You like it.
You're saying he's
written
written the tunes to the album theme, and he's put the album theme to the tunes. I think that's fucking obvious. I dislike the way that you keep bringing it up.
It is very obvious.
Stop bringing it up, okay? I'm done with it.
No, I'm going to keep bringing it up.
You're upsetting me.
Keep bringing it up. As long as he keeps doing it, I'm going to keep bringing it up.
Upsetting me. But Little Engine, honestly, I'm not. When he rhymes like that kind of, I just not really. It's not really his best style, I think. But
I enjoy that style.
But yeah, the chorus is definitely a grower. I'm feeling it. But yeah, let's do it. Let's move on to the next one, which is
Lock It Up.
Lock It Up. Yeah.
Before you start your thing on it, can I just say, why make me wait so long to get to this? Why make me wait so long to get to
Jesus
this
Christ. What I was going to say is you should have locked it up and not unlocked it and not put it on a fucking album. This isn't, it's not great. And again.
Should have locked it up. Okay. I love the beat, man. Dre on the beat. Fucking sick. I love Anderson .Paak anyway, but like Anderson's, I just really like Anderson on it. I thought that subtle Tarantino-esque track to it was sick. I don't know, it feels like I'm about to watch a Tarantino film.
No, it's too slow. It's the weakest beat. It's too slow. You can't bop your head to it. It's got no head nod ability. That's what it is. There's no head nod ability. You just like really slowly. It's like
it's a different vibe.
It's head rock ability too. And I'm not an Anderson .Paak fan either. Next.
Wow, doesn't like Lock It Up. I thought you might enjoy that just because of the Dre beat, but not. What's that line on it? Hold on, there's a line on it that I remember. Think I may have broke the scale because the wait is over. So, there we go. Nice from them to drop us that one.
Yeah.
Next one. The inconsistency of this album is really coming to bear as we're doing this track by track, man. Right. Farewell. Of all the things I want from them in life, we've talked about our demands and needs as needy fans and people. If you're going to keep making music, I'm going to want to be needy. If you're retired, I'll just cry in a corner. But of all the things I need from M, right? Do I really need M spitting over modern Aswad beats? Like,
I fucking love this beat. It's quality.
This is Aswad and almost Ace. Is it Ace of Base?
Yeah,
it's
Ace
that
of Base.
Kind of 90s. Oh, there she wants that. It's that. Wow. Like, okay. Do you know what? I never thought I'd hear it. Now I've heard it. Fine. That's fine then. No, don't ever need to think about this track ever again. Ever, really. Apart from knowing it existed at one point in time. So go on, Ray. Why do you like it?
No, I'm loving it. Look, it's because it's just another string to his bow. He's just doing something different. And there's some lines in it as well. Like if I catch you sucking another dick, you better unsuck it.
Why is that funny? That's not funny.
It is.
That's not funny.
Is it about drugs or is it about a girl? Who knows? But either way, I mean, it's still
God.
It's still interesting.
Oh no! Is he's trying to hide this thing again? Fuck off! No, farewell. No, not for me. Farewell. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, am I going to listen to it ever again? Probably not. The thing is, like I said again, because Eminem, for the most part, he's the number one of your top 5, basically. So it's hard to pick out a single tune that you want to listen to, and like in the playlist I was referring to before, or one that you play to aliens that come from an outer planet, and you put it.
Wait, I can't have this as
no. That wouldn't be on it. But the point is, am I skipping it when I'm listening to this album? No, I'm not.
Wow, you're not. Wow, okay, fair. Jesus Christ, man, you've changed, man. After all them KFCs in East London University. Big up UEL, brap.
Big up KFC.
So,
anyway,
no regrets. Go on then.
I immediately feel an aversion to this tune. Like it's another slow beat, auto-tune singer. It's like the 2020 version of Just Don't Give a Fuck and Still Don't Give a Fuck, but I prefer the originals. I mean, in terms of subject matter kind of thing. And it is a grower, and it's good actually. I do like it, but I listen to it in the context of
it's completely changed on a penny, on a 10p piece. It just went bang, just changed. Okay, go on. That was quick.
It's I don't know. It's just the thing with it is like if you asked anyone who gives no one who else would know. If you asked Ray what type of hip hop does Ray like, it's boom bap beats, it's Pete Rock primo beats, and and Rakim over it, and I'd love to hear more Eminem over it as well. But this is the only version of Eminem we have. So yeah, and so some of these tunes they do grind me, but they're not the beats that I look forward to. The beats on what I look forward to listening to. It's the lyrics.
To be fair, Don Toliver on the beat, on the hook. I actually do like. I know it's auto-tune, but I do like the hook on this. I think it might be one of the better hooks. To be fair,
it is actually.
I thought there's some low key revealing bars on it. Dear got that dope on the beat. I didn't mind the beat. I thought the beat was okay. One thing definitely stood out though on a few listens, the fact that it's called No Regrets. Yes, it is like Don't Give a Fuck, and you're right there. But like the line where he says, misplacing my anger enough to give Earl and Tyler, the creator, the brunt. Should have never made a response. Should have just aimed to the fake ones, them traitorous punks. And I was like, that is a regret then. Like, you said no regrets, but you've regretted two things there then. Like, you regretted going at Tyler and not going for the fake ones. I was thinking, should have caught that. Probably someone should have just caught that. Maybe he's in the studio and everyone's like, just let it go. Don't worry about it. And he's like, what? No, surely just someone. You just needed a mate. You just needed a mate to say to him, mate, you're regretting something there in a track called No Regrets. That was the only thing really. But I mean, will I go back to it? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think I would as well.
But yeah, it's and then, mate, and then here we go. The angriest thing about this whole album is that I have to get to I Will, my favourite track on it, probably on here, and it's the last track on a 20-track album. So, Ray, I Will. Come on, what you saying?
Yeah, smashes it. Royce kills it again. And Eminem, he just absolutely smashed the outro. There's some of the lines in there, that whole like, she had some Wu-Tang coming from towards the patio. She was like, what the heck was that? She went to check on the noise and go inspect the deck. Then I jumped out with a sword and yelled, protect your neck. Just, all of it is just, but just so, it's so Eminem, but also nostalgia. And so it's so the stuff that you love about hip hop, like someone completely new to it wouldn't get any of the references and how, inspect the deck, referring to obviously inspect the deck as well. It's just all of it. It's just,
But it's not. It's nostalgia on lots of different ways, because I picked that line out as well. Like pulling a sword on his mum whilst listening to Protect Your Neck is like just a fucking great thing. And like, even if you say it out like a sentence like that, what's the story of this track? Like, I wish he had more of that in this, which was like, just a bit more humour. I know he has humour, but it's not humour that like this kind of humour, that kind of, what's the word? Fantastical. When he goes on a like, as the world turns. Yeah. I'd love to hear more of that type of M. Yeah. And there's shades of as the world turns in those lines where, he goes to a woman, then he's after her, then she's after him, and then he eats a whole egg like an egg roll. What the fuck? Like that kind of stuff. oh man, I'd love to hear M like do like fucking adult stories and shit like that. Like they're just random, just storytelling. I'd love to hear a bit more of that. So yes, I caught them lines as well. M, what the fuck? How are you leaving the album like this? Like, it makes me angry that you've left the album on such a high. I have to, this is the thing, I suppose, as well. Like, I'm having to look for the moments I like on this project, where I felt on his last album, I didn't feel like I had to look. It felt like if I hear this album whole, I kind of get it all the way through. With this, I'm like skipping, and then I'm like rearranging tracks on my playlist and stuff. Like, to be fair, there's a lot of them are growers, but M, the way he goes out, rest of these young'uns of mine, time to start throwing some shade. This time I'm shutting the blinds, because when I'm looking at your shit, it's no wonder it's why I need a visor, because y'all are just suns in my eyes. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Sunning people, that shit is like, yeah, fucking killed it, mate. And can we just talk about Royce as well? There's no Joe Budden on this track. It's a Slaughterhouse track without Budden. I watched Budden's reaction to it. He liked it. He was like, fair, whatever. But this might, like, the Royce shit, Sacha Baron Cohen, Pharrell, where am I going with this? Oh yeah, I bar at will. And I was just like, the bit that he stops in the middle is, where am I going with this? Oh yeah, I bar at will. And the bar Cohen Pharrell thing, oh man.
Yeah.
But mate, do you know what might be what I've not seen people on Twitter. I've not seen anyone on Twitter or anyone like talk about Joel Ortiz's verse. Like, sorry, can we just take a minute here? I just finished fucking A Fish Called Wanda.
Yeah.
Mate, right? First of all, to come in with that line, fucking rewindable, mate. The way it goes is brilliant. I just finished fucking A Fish Called Wanda. I'm finna wander off into yonder. Beyond just mentally stronger. Memory monster. I remember the sponsor in thought that conquered this triple entendre. Fuck off, mate.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
He does well. He does well. It's, yes.
Get out. Get out. That is, yeah. This is why we need, even if Joe's on it or not, I'd like Joe to be on it, but we need a fucking Slaughterhouse project, man. With them. It would just defeat anything. Like, I'd get everything I want from that. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, even if they did a club track with Ed Sheeran, it may work because they're all on it. Like, even if they did that, as people who've been listening to this pod now, and me and Ray have been going through it, I think we're landing on the similar themes, because that's the last. There's the outro with Alfred Hitchcock, which means nothing because there's no theme to it.
Fucking dickhead. What a dickhead.
I had to do that one last troll. So either way, we're going to move on to the conclusion, and let's get into the common themes we're finding with this album.
Yeah. Yo, it's your original South London trooper Black Twang, aka Tony Rotten. And right now you're rocking with Crate 808 podcast. You already know it's going to be fire. Enjoy this week's episode. Make sure you remember to subscribe, rate, review, and just keep spreading the word. Bless.
Right, so the conclusion. Music to be Murdered By, the biggest album release of 2020 so far in January. Just reflecting on this chat we've had, Ray, I think there's some common themes here. We've got different standards with them. I think overall we agree on some of the bangers, some of the ones at the end of Pat one you didn't really enjoy, but like, I think we're kind of on the same level here. I don't know. What are you saying to it when it comes to, like, do you think yours is wildly different to mine?
I think the fact that we've got completely different opinions about some of the tunes on it is a strength for the album overall. It's got something for everyone. And overall, you know, the common thread throughout the whole thing is absolutely smashing it lyrically. It's so packed with content. And, you know, there are tunes when he sticks to the subject, and there's tunes that he does, you know, just be Eminem going off on one about just random shit. And yeah, you know what? There are some dad jokes in there. If you come to expect that, I'd be disappointed if there wasn't. So I think, is this an album that I'll be listening to again from start to finish? Yeah. You know, previously when we review albums, I'm listening to it for the review, and then I'll never come back to it again. Maybe I pull off a couple of tracks. I'm coming back to this one. I think this is one of Eminem's stronger projects.
Okay, I would like to go into where does this fit into his projects in a minute, but just my two P's as well. I can't really see me listening to it all over again, like as you said, because there's just too many skippable tracks for me, which is ultimately probably just the worst thing about the album for me, is the skippable tracks. For you enjoy them, that's fine. So for me, is that maybe if it's just a shorter project, I know that's an easy out for this, but if he had just nixed some of them and kept the same tracks with the same sequencing, I'd have probably been like, yeah, fuck man, that's a banging album. But it doesn't matter nowadays as much to me now, because I am picking the tracks out I like. I can't help my listening habits. The albums I listen to fully now I'll have to kind of just be front to back. Like, I know James Midwinter out there is going to have a sigh about this, but Apollo Brown's is a long album, but I can listen to that front to back because I get it through the whole album, just like Retropolitan and Bandana and all them others. With this, I can't get that. And then just I was thinking about like what I'm getting from this album generally. Like what was his intention when he made this album? Was to talk about a lot of different things. He doesn't moan. When I first saw the album, he's moaning about Revival. I thought he was going to keep moaning about it. He doesn't. He moans about it once, gets it out of the way, and that's it. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Glad we're moving on from that. What I really want, as a Eminem fan, of all them things I've said, is like, I would forgive the corny punchlines and stuff like that, like Ray does, if he could make good music as well as writing the best bars. Like the bars he's got down and the corny shit, if he can't cut it out, that's fine. But if make it a 20-track album, that's fine. But if them other tracks were just not those, and it maybe had the same people, but like would just, I don't know, just didn't really resonate with me. That's the reason I think this lacks a little bit. But like you said, man, I cannot help my reaction, man. I can't help my reaction when Eminem has me rewinding. Yes, Farewell, Into Deep, those kind of nights. That's music I won't entertain. I just don't like that. But when he says some of them bars we've both fucking gone through, I will take those tracks and really cherish those tracks and probably listen to those tracks over and over again throughout the year if it's on my playlist. So I'm with you in a way, but I just find it very, very inconsistent for me. Where does it fit in my favourite albums? Well, this is where we can talk about it. Before we do though, out of 10, if we're giving it out of 10s, first of all, I need to just make a caveat because we did Gangstar, and I think I gave Gangstar a 7. And looking back on it, when I re-listened to them episodes, I was like, it's not really a 7. I do like that Gangstar album, but for me, that's probably a 6. So I am going to, just in case people are like, oh, you gave that a 7 and you're giving them this. But I'll give that a 6. And then this, I would say I give a strong 5, if not a light 6 at times when I'm listening to it. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Ray, what are you giving it out of 10?
So let me put my caveat in there. There's no such thing as a strong 5 or a weak 6. This is irrelevant.
It's a 5 then.
No, you're right. I don't care what your marking of it is irrelevant because this is obviously better than Gangstar. That's ridiculous that you would say that. So yeah, it's weird because we're starting. It's the new year and this is set the standard. Is this an 8? No, it's a 7. This is a 7. I was thinking about the lyrics because like Eminem absolutely smashes it and he schools everyone. And I don't think we're going to get anywhere near this level of lyricism for the rest of the year. We're not going to get there. But the weakness is the beats. The beats aren't. I need some boom bap head nodability. Come on, this is what do you think to the Dre? That's what I need. What do you think to the Dre beats? What do you think with the Dre beats? Don't you make you feel like, oh shit? Wonder if he did another album? Nah,
they make me really excited.
Nah, I don't think they stood out any more than any of the others. Shit, I didn't even check. You know the one that I was saying was the sickest beat on the album. Who was on that beat?
Which one was it? What's
it's
the track called?
Never Love Again.
Never Love Again.
Never Love Again. Yeah.
Dre's actually on the production credits for Never Love Again. So that has a Dre touch. I think it's like 5 people on that though.
Oh, okay, yeah, but so that's the sickest track on there. But yeah,
that's funny, man. That's funny because I listen to this and they stand out to me. Like I can hear Little Engine. When Little Engine came on, I kind of already knew this is definitely someone like Dre. And even like the first track, I'm like, this is Dre produced. So I feel excited. I was like, wow, like so those I don't know, the head nodability, I see it because I do feel those Dre beats. I know you want that primo shit. You wanted to do that, which would be great. If we're looking at like, I remember we just revisiting some of our other reviews we've done. You said you didn't find Igor interesting or anything like that. So just to cover it, what do you find interesting about this album? Is it strictly wordplay? Just you personally? Just
the wordplay, the content, the fact he can pick a tune and stick to a subject. He does it in his inimitable style, like the way Darkness is. You think it's about a performance he's coming up to, then it's actually the Las Vegas shooting. That's one example. There's many examples on there. I was really feeling the track that was it's Never Love Again, wasn't it? It was the one that's actually about drugs. You were like, oh, it's obvious, but I don't think it is. It's just Eminem sticks to a subject and explores a subject expertly, and there's not anyone else that does that. I can't think of anyone else that does it anywhere near in the same league. I mean, I am going to be revisiting this album. I am not going to be putting none of the tracks I'm going to be putting on a playlist separately because I think they work in the context of their position in the of the album. And that's something that I'm not doing that with anyone else. There's no one else that I'm listening to the entire album. Even Sincerely Detroit, which I loved, I was picking off my favorite tracks. I mean, there was a fucking 700 tracks on that album. So that, for me to pick off like eight of my favorites is an album in itself, I guess. But
Retropolitan might be up there. That's one that you can probably listen to back to front, I'd have thought.
Yeah, but it's just Glorious is is such the standout track, isn't
you
it?
love that track, man. You do love it, don't you? But if we're talking about Eminem projects generally, I don't know, give me your top 5. Is this going in the top 5 for you then? You're giving it a 7. I'm guessing you're going to bring this to the end of the year album debate then as well.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's going to win it. And if I was going to say top 3 albums, it's going to be Slim Shady EP, then it's going to be Marshall Mathers EP, and then it's going to be this.
This is your third favourite Eminem album?
100%.
Fuck. Wow. Okay, is that including his collabs like with Bad Meets Evil as well?
Yeah, no, I'm not really give a shit about the collabs, to be honest. Some of them are great.
Wow.
Some of them are great, but some of them are just overrated. People are just all on Royce's dick a bit too much, and I just Royce shines sometimes, but he doesn't always.
Right. Well, shit. Top 3. If I knew you were going to put this top 3, I knew what I'd be in for. Fair enough. This is your third favourite Eminem project. For me,
did I say EP? LP.
Marshall LP. Yeah. For me, it goes Marshall Mathers, Slim Shady up there. Yeah, I don't think this doesn't get in my top 5 because I think it'll go Marshall Mathers, Slim Shady, Bad Meets Evil, Relapse, Kamikaze. But then I do really like Eminem's show. So yeah. But then, you know what? Recovery wasn't bad as well, actually. Recovery, if you revisit Recovery, it's actually, yeah, he does say stuff on there where you're like, yeah, it's still resonant.
I just think Relapse just now, it's just really of its time. It just kind of, some of the beats are just
that's what I like.
quite
I think
dated.
It's the nostalgia. Yeah, it is. It is dated.
I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some
like
fucking bangers on Recovery as well. Like fucking Cold Wind Blows is just
Yeah, there are definitely. But yeah, I just can't see this album as a whole touching those because if I'm looking at them albums now, how many times do I skip them? Eminem show, maybe. Recovery a few times, maybe, yeah. But the others, no. I mean, if I'm putting it on that basis alone, on skippability, yeah, man, it's not getting in there for me. So there we go. Eminem's latest album, his 11th one, the Crate 808 review. Middling review from me, I suppose, a little bit. Ray, put it top 3 of all time Eminem and one of the albums of the year already. So there you go. That's the chasm we're speaking of. But thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. Please go out there, check out crate808.com. All our bits are on there. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, YouTube. Check us out. We're also on Kiki Studios. Big up Kiki, brap. They're a streaming platform that we have landed on with the likes of the Dad Bod Rap Pod and Notorious POD. There are other people on there as well, so go check us out on that. And yes, please spread the word, man. Go out there, please subscribe, leave a review for us in iTunes. One thing we did do back in the day, and we kind of fell off, and we're going to bring it back, is if you leave us a rap review, you will get some free Crate 808 merch. So if you leave us a rap review, so it's your review of the podcast in the form of a rap on iTunes, bang, we will big you up on here as well and read it out. Big up Grindhouse Music for doing all the beds on here. And yes, we're going to be out there. We're going to be doing more interviews. And yeah, man, we're going to hopefully bring you some more flavour soon. Hope you enjoyed these reviews. We're trying to make them a bit more consistent. Yeah, Ray, thanks for bringing the fire, bruh. I enjoyed your takes. I'm sure they'll get people going.
I don't think you did, but I'm happy to bring it. I'm going to go out and enjoy it. I'm going to go out and enjoy the sun now. Maybe go to the beach. Just do what I do over here. How's we doing over there? Is it?
I'm going to get my snood on the go, get my wellies, and have a walk out on a lovely wintry morning. So, what a prick. Before you do go though, mate, what have you been listening to recently? That's one thing I wanted to ask you because we haven't talked to you for a minute. What's the good shit you've been bumping?
You know when you listen to a playlist and it comes to the end of it and it does like playlist radio or does like a version? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I haven't heard of. Have you heard of Stally?
Stally,
no, yeah. Reflection of Self. The album's called Reflection of Self, the head tip, and there's a track on there called Also New. Also New by Stally is what you need to go and listen to right now. It's ridiculous. I mean, go and listen to Music to Be Murdered By, and then listen to this track. It's it's ridiculous.
Okay, fair, man, fair. That's I'm looking forward to listening to that. What have I listened to? Just so you know, mate, one thing that I wish I had brought up in the end of year debates, and probably is one of my albums of the year. No, it definitely is one of my albums of 2019. Brother Ali and Evidence, Secrets and Escapes is just brilliant. Emotional rap with soul bars, melancholic vibes just sprinkled throughout it. Yeah, man, sick. Them two are just maturing like fine wines.
Melancholic
fine
vibes.
Wines.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Melancholic vibes, man. Melancholic. That's what it is. It's true. Brother Ali, man, sick. Fahim, one of the best dad rap tracks of all time. Up there with The Foundation from Exhibit's debut album. There you go.
There you go. So
either way, that's us. We'll catch you on the flip side. See you later, Ray.
See you later.
He enjoyed that one. And yeah, I shall catch you on the flip side. Boom.
Peace.